than they had hoped is going to be a great confidence boost going into tonight's game, which we both think is going to be pretty close.
It's going to be a battle, no doubt about it. The crowd is electric. We have the Princeton Tigers off to our left in red, and we have the Hatchet faithful covering over half of this gym in the black and gold. Hatchet cheer section is in whiteout colors tonight. It's a sea of white over there as both teams are back to their benches for final talks with the coach and the starting lineups. Now, we are at the Hatchet House, but in the championship game, Washington will be the guest on the scoreboard. They're wearing their black, trimmed in gold. The Princeton Tigers will be the home team on the scoreboard in white, trimmed in red. Our pregame coverage presented by Boyd & Sons Machinery. Boyd & Son, proud to back the Hatchets all season long and proud to be a part of the Washington community. Pre-game coverage brought to you, as we said, by Boyd & Sons. Tip-off brought to you by Boyd Grain. Tom Boyd and the Boyd family at Boyd Grain rooting for the Hatchets tonight. Starting lineups for the visitors on the scoreboard. The Washington Hatchets, Tyson Wright, Grant Niehaus at guards. Trey Reed, Bryce Browning at forwards. Hunter Killian working the middle. No change-up from last night for Coach Miller and his squad. One thing Coach Miller talked about, the Hatchets want to control the tempo tonight, and they want, believe it or not, John, he said this may seem shocking, they want a fast-paced game this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Princeton is great athletically, but Washington plays their best basketball when they're out in transition and they're running the floor. That also helps spark the defense when they do that. Their defense sparks their offense, and that's where these Hatchets are the most comfortable.
For the Princeton Tigers, at guard, Jerian Ballard, a 5'8 sophomore. At guard, a 5'10 senior, Kerry Hunter. At forward, 6'10 senior, Matt Dove. At forward, 6'6 senior, Zach Dove. And rounding out the lineup, 6'2 senior, Stephen Wilkerson. Now the Dove boys, will watch them all night tonight. 6'10", 6'5". The 6'5 Dove actually was more of a force in the first meeting between these two teams. He's checking in at 240, 250. He's a big man, and he can do the inside game or move outside and shoot the three.
Right, he's hard to handle. Whoever guards him tonight is going to have to be able to guard him down on the block and also out at the three-point line. The other thing, in the earlier game, Washington was able to get Matt Dove into foul trouble early. He played very limited minutes in the first half, and Washington's going to need to do something similar tonight to kind of put him back in that situation to give us an advantage.
Washington, Princeton. Championship game from the 3A sectional tonight from the Hatchet House. Welcome aboard. I'm Dwayne Shake along with John Gear, and we want to send a big salute to CI Tom Thomas. Tom had open heart surgery recently and is unable to attend this sectional tonight, but we know he is listening and with us in spirit, and except for his military service, it says he has not missed a sectional for approximately 55 years. How about that?
That is amazing. Thank you for your service and your dedication to the Hatchets, and wish you well and get well soon, Tom.
And hopefully we'll bring you on home tonight, Tom Thomas. All right, there's the whistle. 8 minutes on the clock.
Is there any better place to be tonight than right here, Dwayne?
Let's get her done. The opening tip controlled by the Princeton Tigers. Jerian Ballard running point.
Washington starts out in the man-to-man.
Kerry Hunter, skip pass over to Ballard. Got to watch Ballard from the arc. He hit 4 threes in that second semifinal game last night with 12 points in that first quarter. There's a shot up, no good, and an offensive rebound for Matt Dove. He's fouled on the putback, and Dove wastes no time getting to the free throw line.
And that's one thing that we're going to have to control, is we're going to have to keep him off the boards both ways, but especially off of the offensive glass tonight. And unfortunate start for the Hatchets, but let's see what happens here.
Dove shoots 2. Southpaw, his first one's good. So Princeton on the board first, 1-0. Tonight's game coverage brought to you by the Prescription Shop, your hometown pharmacy on State Street in Washington. And your neighborhood Chuckles convenience stores. Brighten up your day with a trip to Chuckles. The second free throw, no good, but guess what? Another offensive rebound for the Tigers. This time it's Zach Dove making his move. He missed. Matt Dove with another offensive rebound and one more, and now it's tipped around, and finally the Hatchets pull it in. But Zach Dove shuts out Bryce Browning and gets the steal, and once again we're still on the offensive end for Princeton. Man.
Can't catch a break on that one.
There's a 3 by Wilkerson, and it's money. Stephen Wilkerson from downtown, 4-0 Princeton. Finally, the Hatchets will get it on the scoring end. And a foul called against Hunter.
It'll be interesting to see early on here how the officials call this. It looks like it might be a little ticky-tack to start, but Washington's going to have to do a better job of blocking out and keeping Princeton off the offensive glass, that's for sure.
No doubt about that. What, 4 offensive rebounds already in a minute?
So far.
Wow. Grant Niehaus to Trey Reed. Trey pulls up, shoots and scores. Trey Reed, the sophomore. Big bucket, 4-2. Princeton by 2.
Nice shot by Trey. We're going to need to get him
There's
involved early.
There's a steal by the Hatchets. Trey Reed knocks it loose. Bryce Browning off to Tyson Wright. Tyson!
Just what we needed, Dwayne.
And we're all tied at 4. Let's go.
This full court pressure by the Hatchets has given Princeton all kinds of fits here.
This time, Jurian Ballard quickly up the floor. Hands off to Dove. Matt Dove off the glass for 2. 6-4. Look at this run and gun Hatchet offense. Coach Miller says they want the tempo and they want it fast pace. And you see they waste no time getting it down the floor.
It's a blink of an eye and they're up the court.
2 minutes gone in the opening quarter. If you're just joining it, it's Princeton 6, Washington 4 in the 3A sectional championship. Bryce Browning with a strong move to the bucket, but couldn't get it. And the rebound controlled by the Tigers. 5:50 to go, opening quarter. There you go.
Nice job by Trey Reed, or Bryce
loose.
Browning, I'm sorry.
But Princeton able to come up with a loose ball. And now the Tigers throw it away. Hunter intended the pass for Zach Dove, and right to the Hatchet bench, so Washington gets it back.
That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to deny the entry to the post, obviously. We're going to have to continue to give them fits and make them turn the ball over here.
5.5 left in this first quarter. Hatchets trailing by 2, 6-4. Grant Niehaus on the run, shot up, no good. And it's out of bounds to Princeton. Niehaus claiming he got fouled on that.
It didn't look quite right.
No, I agree with you. Full court press again by the Hatchets. Princeton looks to break it. They do. Hunter kicks it off to Dove. He'll shoot the 3 and get it. Zach Dove, the big man, 6'6" senior, 240. Not only does he play big underneath, but he can shoot that 3, and we saw it right there. First points for Zach Dove makes it 9-4 in favor of Princeton. 5 minutes left in the first quarter of play.
Princeton already 2 for 2 from behind the arc.
Trey Reed's shot is up and in. Boy, Trey feeling it tonight. Love to see that from the sophomore.
He had a great game last night, and so far he's picking up right where he left off.
9-6. Hatchets trail by 3. Once again, full court pressure by Washington as Ballard breaks it. Bauer, he traveled. Yes, he did.
That's Princeton's 4th turnover, Dwayne, in just not even half a quarter.
It's this Hatchet defense, the full court press. I like that strategy early on. It's been effective. Now let's convert on this end. Tyson Wright hands off to Niehaus. Look at the sticky pressure Niehaus is getting again tonight. Wright driving, partially blocked from behind. I think that was Ballard that got a piece of that one. And the loose ball controlled by the Tigers. Wilkerson with a kick out. Now it's top of the key to Zach Dove. Over to Ballard, and Ballard will slow it up. Halfway through the first quarter, Princeton 9, Washington 6. You're listening to the 3A Boys Basketball Sectional from the Hatchet House on WAMW FM Washington. Stephen Wilkerson looking in to Zach Dove.
Nice
and
block.
He's blocked from behind by Trey Reed, the sophomore, with a big stop. Here come the Hatchets. Trey Reed, shot up. Oh, just missed. And on the rebound, a foul called against Zach Dove and the Tigers. And the Hatchets will keep it. Coach Haywood doesn't like that call. And here comes the first substitution tonight for Princeton, Brentlin Muckerhide. 5'10" senior, going to replace Kerry Hunter. Hunter setting down John, Zach Dove, 2 fouls now. Love seeing that in the first quarter.
Absolutely, and we need even more. We need to get that 3rd one.
Trey Reed pulls up, short. And the rebound to Muckerhide. 3.5 left first quarter. 9-6 Princeton. Muckerhide kicks it over to Zach Dove. Coach Haywood keeping him in with those 2 fouls early in the first quarter here.
Going to have to see if that's going to help us or help them here. We'll find out shortly.
You've got to create number 3 if you can. That really puts them in a jam.
Well, and I think we'll see at the other end. I think Washington will go right at him.
Coach Miller in his pregame interview, John mentioned this exact strategy for Princeton. They love to control the tempo. They want this one slowed down, and that's what they're doing. Very patient down here, lots of passes. The Hatchets attacking. They don't want that to happen all night tonight.
Since the first couple possessions, though, Dwayne, if you notice, they haven't been able to get the ball down to Matt Dove down the post.
This time Zach Dove draws the foul on Reed. And I think Zach should be shooting 2 free throws here. But Trey's done a nice job so far tonight up against him, though.
Yeah, and Hunter Killian's going to have to continue to front Matt Dove and keep the ball out of his hands down low on the block, and they've done that in the second part of this first quarter here.
First free throw good. Matt Dove and Zach Dove, they are cousins. They're both seniors, and what a duo for the Princeton Tigers. 6'10" and 6'6".
We'll be glad for them to graduate.
No doubt, no doubt. Very good athletes. Both free throws count for Zach Dove. So it's back to a 5-point Princeton lead, 11-6. 3 minutes left in the first quarter of play here at the Hatchet House. Mentioned in the pregame with Coach Miller, I watched the movie Hoosiers today to get ready for this one, John.
Well, and hopefully as Tyson Wright puts up a 3
yes,
and gets it.
Yes! Tyson Wright, big bucket from downtown.
Huge shot by Tyson Wright.
11-9, full court press again by the Hatchets. Mucker Hyde draws the trap now. It's Ballard that breaks it across the timeline. Mucker Hyde, top of the key, over to Wilkerson. Stephen Wilkerson to Mucker Hyde. Around it goes to Ballard. This is what I'm talking about, John. They want to run the time. They want to be patient here.
Now they're going to double team Dove. They kick out to Wilkerson for 3.
Wilkerson missed the 3. Rebound pulled in nicely by Hunter Killian. That a boy, Hunter.
Great rebound by Hunter Killian.
Huge board there by the Hatchet senior. Hunter's trying to post against Zach Dove. The kick out goes to Trey Reed, now to Tyson Wright. Tyson over to Niehaus. Niehaus.
What a move.
What a duck under move.
What a move.
We are tied at 11 apiece. The Hatchet junior Grant Niehaus with his first points. 1:45 left in this first quarter. It's living up to the hype, fans. Princeton and Washington battling for a sectional championship. Matt Dove in the corner to Mucker Hyde. He thought about the 3.
Hatchet defense staying strong here with this slowdown from Princeton. Nobody's falling asleep, and it's kind of giving the Tigers a little bit of a fit here.
Around. Mucker Hyde out to Wilkerson and denied by Tyson Wright. Out of bounds. It's staying with Princeton.
Well, we got lucky there because Tyson Wright dove out of bounds to save the ball, and it ended up going to Matt Dove. But luckily, they said Tyson was out of bounds because that was a for sure 2 points for Princeton there. But great hustle by Tyson Wright.
In it goes to Zach Dove. Now Wilkerson looking to feed it back to Dove, and Dove throws it away. That right there, John, is just plain out great execution on defense.
It's great execution. It's a great game plan by Coach Miller. Anytime those guys are getting it now, they're double teaming them, so they're not really sure what to do with the ball, and Dove just threw it straight to our bench. So great job game plan wise and executing it on the court by the Hatchets.
Caved in on Dove, and he had nowhere to go. You're absolutely right. So now the Hatchets want the last shot here. We're all tied at 11. What a game tonight. This is Hoosier Hysteria. This is Indiana high school basketball. Game coverage presented by Thompson Insurance, treating you the way you want to be treated. Washington Chrysler Center, your 5-star dealer downtown Washington. A&R Home Center, more than just a hardware store. WTHI TV 10, coverage you can count on with News 10. 20 seconds remaining now. Tyson Wright tries to get it to Bryce Browning. Last touched by Browning and the Hatchets. And that's going to be a turnover for Washington.
That was a tough break right there. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like Browning may have been grabbed when he was going for the ball. Just kind of one of those tough plays. But we got 13.3 seconds to go here, and Washington's got to keep Princeton off the scoreboard.
So now Ballard calling out the play. Wilkerson out to Zach Dove. Zach into Matt Dove. 3 seconds. Now the kick out to Ballard for the 3. No good. And the putback, no good. That's it for the first quarter of play. After 8 minutes, we're right where we started. Washington 11, Princeton 11. Second quarter action in 1 minute on WAMW.
Clear. Stand by. And go.
Welcome back here to the Hatchet House. Dwayne Shake with John Gear, ready for second quarter action in the 3A championship. We're all tied after one. Washington 11, Princeton 11. You know, a couple of keys there. Defense, number one. Hatchet's tremendous execution on defense. Number two, Trey Reed coming out shooting two quick twos, as the Princeton Tigers key in on the big men for Washington. They didn't expect that from Trey Reed, and he stepped up big.
No, and Trey's going to have to continue that as Niehaus drives baseline. They're going to say it was out of bounds. And that's the thing, like, Trey's going to have to step up. I mean, everybody's going to have to continue to produce offensively and defensively for us to come away with the sectional title here tonight.
Princeton with the ball, forecourt press again by the Hatchets. Stephen Wilkerson gets it across, kicks it out to Hunter. Hunter sets for the long three and gets it. Let's carry Hunter his first points tonight, but he was wide open there.
Dwayne, Princeton has not missed a three-pointer. They're perfect 3 for 3 tonight.
7.5 to play in the first half, 14-11. Tigers lead by 3. Trey Reed out to Tyson Wright. Now Grant Niehaus. Niehaus hands back to Tyson. Boy, Princeton's doing a nice job on defense too, Kyle. Underneath.
John,
sorry.
I've been called worse today, Dwayne.
I knew I was going to do that. I'm into this game, John.
Well, how can you not be? This is what high school basketball is all about.
I'm watching the battle down low too. Niehaus gets a step, takes it to the
Got it!
and one. Grant Niehaus with a chance of the three-point play.
I tell you what, Grant's had 2 takes to the basket tonight that were just absolutely unbelievable. He just went right at the big guys, got the basket, headed to the free throw line, and that's what we need from Grant here tonight.
The Vincennes game, Grant the only one not in double figures with 5 points because they keyed in on him all night. And that's what Princeton's trying to do tonight, but Grant's not going to let that happen 2 nights in a row.
No, great job by Grant to tie this up at 14 with 6:50 to go here in the second quarter.
14 apiece. Full court press again by the Hatchets. Wilkerson walks it across, kicks it over to Zach Dove. Zach Dove out to Ballard. Now it goes over to Hunter. Back to Zach Dove. Now to Ballard. Once again, Princeton very methodical, very patient. Lob underneath to Dove, and he gets it as he falls to the floor. Did you see that? That's 2 players that have played together for a while.
Yeah, that's just great execution. You got to give Princeton credit. They just executed that to perfection and ended up with 2 points.
Zach and Matt Dove, cousins, so they've played basketball together for a long time. They can feel each other out, and they did it there. As Stephen Wilkerson is called for a bump foul.
And something that's not going to show up in the stat column is Bryce Browning right there, the shot fake from 3, because obviously the scouting report is Browning can shoot the 3, got Wilkerson discombobulated, and then he draws the foul, and we need to get as many of these Tigers in foul trouble as possible. So great job by Bryce there to playing smart basketball.
That's right. Zach Dove's been playing with 2 fouls since, early in that first quarter.
You need to get that third one.
Bryce Browning open for 3, short. Rebound saved by Trey Reed. What a kick out.
Beautiful play.
What a kick out by the sophomore. Trey's playing inspired ball tonight. He's had a big game. There's Bryce open for 3, top of the key. Oh, too strong. Trey, another rebound. Swatted out of bounds. Saved by the Hatchets, and there's a 2 by Grant Niehaus. Man, I'm getting all excited, John. Excuse me,
Well,
fans.
you know what? That's okay, Dwayne, because this thing right here, this is one exciting basketball game.
16-16. And a
Another
turnover by Princeton.
turnover. That is the 6th turnover so far in this first half.
The Tigers are a little bit shaken up, John. I'm telling you.
They're not doing well handling this pressure in Washington. They're playing right into their hand, and we've turned them over 6 times to our 2 turnovers thus far.
16-16. Hatchets with the ball. 5:25 to go first half.
Right now, it just looks like we want this more. The hustle plays, the offensive rebounds are just headed in our favor.
Grant Niehaus controls over to Trey Reed. Trey shoots short. Rebound into the hands of Matt Dove. Not a bad shot by Trey, just not enough on that one.
If you're Trey Reed, you're going to shoot those because they're going to give them to you all night. Knock them down.
Yep, absolutely. Looking into Zach Dove. Now the kick out to Wilkerson into Matt Dove. Matt's in the paint. There's a spin move. He doesn't get the shot. But Matt Dove does have 2 free throws coming.
And that is Hunter Killian's 2nd foul.
Tonight's game coverage brought to you by Bill Dobson Ford. A Dobson deal is a better deal. By your Edward Jones financial advisors, Sarah Browning, Doug Bubalo, and Scott Cordova. And by the Donaldson Insurance Agency. With Donaldson's, your number 1. First free throw is good by Matt Dove. Well, we're getting intel that the Dove boys are twin brothers. I got my information from Mike DeCourcy today. He said they were cousins, but thank you for that update. I'll double check that at halftime, and we'll confirm one way or the other.
Related,
they're definitely
nonetheless.
family, yes. They're both seniors, and they're both excellent basketball players.
Well, we got part of it right at least.
4.5 to play. Grant Niehaus gets it off the glass for 2 more. Grant is earning every basket he's getting tonight because he has just amassed a tremendous amount of pressure. It doesn't faze him. Niehaus has 9 points of the Hatchet 18.
And we're going to need Grant to be at that 20-25 point mark here tonight.
Hunter missed it. Offensive rebound and put back good for Matt Dove. Matt Dove got away from the Hatchets there, able to grab it in and get the basket.
Nice cut.
Trey Reed back out to Tyson Wright. Tyson over to Bryce Browning. Bryce shot up, no good. Rebound to the Tigers. Now Ballard quickly up the floor. Jurian Ballard, top of the key. Zach Dove for 3. It's not going to miss. The kid will, if you give him that, he will hit it. John, I guarantee you he'll hit it.
And that's the thing, we can't lose sight of him in transition, and that's what happened. Ballard led the break. Dove came from behind. We didn't pick him up, and he was wide open for 3.
Tyson Wright out to Grant Niehaus, and it was
Blocked.
partially blocked. A clean block according to the officials. And the Tigers come up with the loose ball. Zach Dove at the center circle over to Ballard. We're approaching 3 minutes in this first half. 23-18. Princeton has built that lead back to 5. In a seesaw battle.
And they throw it away.
There's another turnover, yes. Good job by the Hatchet defense one more time. I tell you, Coach Miller cannot be disappointed with his team's effort whatsoever. They are executing to a T. This is just it's just a survival game right now. I mean,
yeah, and you got to give that turnover credit to Tyson Wright because he was all over Ballard, and Dove didn't know what to do with the basketball. So, great job there by Tyson. And we're going to get a foul on
away
Wilkerson.
from the ball, and Wilkerson, that's his 2nd. See, Wilkerson is face guarding Niehaus. They're doing everything to deny him the basketball. And in the process, he's picked up 2 fouls. Grant's just got to stay with that.
Yeah, and Grant's being aggressive, taking it to the basket against the bigger guys, and Grant's got to continue to do that because he's finishing and he's drawing fouls. Both things we're going to have to continue to do here.
That's 2 on Wilkerson. Oh, no. The inbound pass stolen by Wilkerson. Given to Ballard, and Ballard is fouled and shooting 2. Tough break there for the Hatchets. Princeton's doing a nice job getting to the free throw line. Their 4th trip there in this first half.
Yeah, so far Princeton only missed 1 free throw thus far. Make that 2 right on cue.
Entering the lineup for Wilkerson, Hunter returns, Kerry Hunter. Also Muckerhide is in the lineup. Now Brantley Muckerhide. Second free throw is good. 1 for 2 at the line for Jurian Ballard, and a timeout called by the Hatchets. 30-second timeout. We'll take one, too. 2:48 to go first half on the A&R Home Center scoreboard. Princeton 24, Washington 18, back in 30 seconds on WAMW.
Clear. Stand by. And go.
2:48 to go first half. Princeton 24, Washington 18. Hatchets have the ball as play resumes. We were tied at 11 at the end of the first quarter, as this is one of the premier games in the state. It has to be. John, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
big battle here.
It's lived up to the hype thus far, and Washington just has to weather a little bit of the storm that Princeton just put on them. And they're only down 6. We can get right back in this thing in a hurry.
Niehaus, top of the key, over to Tyson Wright. He throws up the 3, no good. On the rebound, that could have been over the back. I thought Hunter had good position there.
Hunter had position. It was just a judgment call there by the official.
Yep. And the Tigers come up with it. Muckerhide to carry Hunter. Back to Muckerhide. We're at the 2-minute mark now. They go into Dove. Matt Dove worked around and got it in for 2 more. Matt Dove now with 9, 26-18 in favor of the Tigers, and the Hatchets turn it over. Ballard off to the races, and he's denied by Niehaus. Good stop there by Grant Niehaus. Good stop there by Niehaus. We have Julius Hardiman checking in for the first time. Hardiman's going to replace Bryce Browning. 1:52 left in the first half. Princeton 26, the Hatchets 18. Hunter controls, kicks it back to Zach Dove. Now Muckerhide over to Ballard. That's what the Tigers want to do. They want to run some clock, be very patient here. The Hatchets don't want that to happen.
Yeah, it goes without saying that Washington definitely needs to stop here.
Kerry Hunter for 3. Nope, too strong. Rebound to Muckerhide. And a foul called against the Hatchets. It's going to be the 5th team foul against Washington.
That's a tough one. Julius Hardiman was going after the basketball, and it's just one of those kind of like here on the other end. I mean, it's, you got to just let that one play on.
Matt Dove, top of the key, out to Ballard. He'll shoot the 3, and he got it. Jurian Ballard, his first field goal tonight, 29-18, so Princeton on a nice run. They've jumped the lead to 11 as we get to the final minutes of this first half here in Washington.
Washington just needs to keep their composure, get a good shot here, and just get back in this thing one possession at a time.
Grant Niehaus right to the basket and good for 2.
That's the best way to do it right there.
11 points for Niehaus, 29-20. Full court press again by Washington. Hunter gets it across. Now Muckerhide looking into Dove. Dove, one more time, good for 2. Matt Dove. He's got a nice touch underneath, and we had 3 Hatchets on him, Kyle, but we give up 3 inches minimum down there. I called you Kyle again. I'm sorry, John.
Man.
I'm looking right at him. I am so pumped about this game, John. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'll forgive you, buddy.
31-20. Here's Tyson Wright. Tyson up and no. And that is over the back. John, that's over the back.
That's just a terribly missed call, as Matt Dove was riding Hunter Killian just all over him, and just no call on this end.
At the end of one half of play here at the Hatchet House on the A&R Home Center scoreboard, it's the Princeton Tigers 31, the Washington Hatchets 20. We've got the halftime show coming up in 2 minutes on WAMW.
Clear. 10. Stand by. And go.
We're back at the Hatchet House. It's halftime on the A&R Home Center scoreboard. The Washington Hatchets trailing the Princeton Tigers 31-20. Individual scoring first for the Hatchets, Grant Niehaus with 11 points. He had all 9 Hatchet points in that second quarter. 11 for Niehaus. 5 points for Tyson Wright, 4 for Trey Reed. That's the Hatchet scoring. 11 for Grant Niehaus, 5 for Tyson Wright, 4 for Trey Reed. 2 players posting double digits for Princeton. Guess who? It's the Dove brothers, as Matt Dove has 11, Zach Dove has 10. 4 for Jurian Ballard and 3 for Kerry Hunter. So 21 of the 31 belong to the Dove brothers, and they are just making a big impact so far in this first half as the Princeton Tigers leading the Washington Hatchets 31-20. What do you got on team stats, John?
It's pretty close, and you'll be able to tell what the difference is in this ball game. First, we'll start with Princeton. Two-point field goals, they're 5 for 7, 72%. Here's the big difference right here. 3-point field goals, not counting the last half-court heave, a perfect 5 for 5 for Princeton from behind the arc. Free throws, Princeton has gotten to the line 8 times, made 6 of them for 75%, and they did turn it over 7 times in that first half. For Washington, 9 of 13 from 2-point range, 69%, so good shooting for the Hatchets. 1 for 2 for 50% from behind the arc, and only 1 free throw attempt, which Grant Niehaus made, and 4 turnovers. So the difference in this ball game, if you look at the numbers, is the 3-point field goals and the free throws right now are the difference in this ball game.
31-20 at the half. Princeton with the lead. Lots of basketball left. We'll take another 2-minute timeout and be back with more from the Hatchet House right after this on WAMW.
Clear. Ten. Stand by. And go.
Back at the Hatchet House, where the Hatchets are trailing the Princeton Tigers at the half, 31-20 in this 3A sectional championship. Some other tournaments we're watching in Greensburg. It's a 1-2 shootout as Greensburg faces Batesville. Greensburg figures the walkaway winner in that one. They've lost 1 game all year, and the winner of this one will face the winner of that Greensburg sectional at the Southridge Regional in the semifinals next Saturday. So Greensburg probably a walkaway favorite there. We're also watching the Charlestown final game. Silver Creek playing Corydon Central. Silver Creek, big favorite in that one. You got to look to them to be in the Southridge Regional next week. And then, of course, here at Washington, we are, of course, at halftime, 31-20. Princeton right now with the lead at Boonville. that's the one that everybody's been talking about. Boonville last night, it was just an outright battle royale as Evansville, Bosse, and Heritage Hills were eliminated. That leaves behind Gibson Southern and Evansville Memorial playing for the championship tonight. And Memorial we saw here. I don't think many picked Memorial to beat Bosse, but they got the job done.
Honestly, I thought Bosse would walk away with it, really. Memorial's a good team. I just didn't think they had the athleticism to keep up with Bosse, but obviously I was wrong. And then then you think about, we played Gibson Southern earlier in the year, and now they're in the sectional championship. So just goes to show you how great this high school tournament is, because anything is possible. Going to be a tough battle for Gibson Southern tonight, but you know what? They're in there, so who knows what will happen.
And it's going to be one whale of a regional at Southridge next Saturday.
It'll be one of the toughest ones in the state, because you got
down
Silver Creek, presumably, and then Greensburg. Those two are always in it, and then you got Memorial or whoever coming out of there. I mean, how can you go wrong?
And then Bar Even Shoals playing head-to-head in Lagodi tonight. Neck and neck for that one. The Shoals Jugrocks enjoying some great success this season, but the Vikes have been here before and playing on all levels, so they're going to be tough to beat.
Well, look, I mean, Bar Reeve, I think they have it in mind. It's either state champions or bust this year with the talent that they have, and they have a great shot to get to the championship game.
And then at North Davies, Linton and South Knox playing tonight. Heartbreaking loss for the Cougars yesterday. Buzzer beater by Gage Bobe, securing that South Knox win. Wow.
Well, that would another. I mean, this time of year you got great games, but especially in this part of the state, because North Davies had a great season. South Knox though, handed it to us a few weeks back.
That's right.
And they were, nothing to take away from them. They were a good team, but honestly, I kind of felt like North Davies would kind of run away with that. But, South Knox, it seems like in tournament time, they did it to Bar Reeve a couple years ago in a row when Bar Reeve moved up to 2A for the success factor. They shut them down, and South Knox just comes to play in the tournament.
Second half action coming up after this 1-minute break on WAMW.
Clear. Ten seconds. Stand by. And go.
Princeton starts with the basketball to begin the second half, and we're underway. Lob underneath the Zach Dove, and he quickly gets the bucket and one. Design play right from the starting gate. Tigers are pumped now, as Dove has a chance for the three-point play at the line.
Well, as Kyle always talks about, the first 3 minutes of the third quarter are huge, and in no more game than this one is that going to be the case.
That's absolutely right.
Another over-the-back
Once again, I tell you what, if we had a couple of those, might be a foul issue. 7:42 left now. Niehaus kicks it to Trey Reed. Trey, nope, couldn't get it. Knocked the ball loose, and the Hatchets have it back. Good job by Trey. Put up by Hunter Killian off the mark, and now Wilkerson comes up with it. Boy,
just kind of
it was a scrum down there for a little bit.
Looked like a street fight.
Yeah, it did. Zach Dove now far side. Out to Kerry Hunter, over to Ballard. Ballard looking in. Now it's the kick out to Ballard for the three. He missed it, and the rebound controlled by Bryce Browning and the Hatchets.
Finally, they missed one.
Tyson Wright pushing it up. Tyson. Oh, no, but Bryce Browning, good rebound, and a second chance for the Hatchets. They look into Hunter Killian. Hunter In the paint, up against the big guys, and he draws the foul. Hunter Killian going to shoot 2.
Nice job by Hunter. Kind of got, there's a lot of physicality down there.
Yeah,
Hunter played through it.
Yes, he did.
They call that on Zach or Matt?
Second personal on Zach Dove. So
I thought he already had 2
I thought he
fouls.
had 2 as well. Apparently they had the scoreboard wrong earlier. Free throw by Hunter Killian off the mark. He'll shoot 1 more. Tonight's game coverage brought to you by Freddie Energy, fueling your everyday life. The Donaldson Insurance Agency with Donaldson's your number 1. Myers LP Gas, Highway 57 north of Washington. 1 more free throw for Killian, the senior. He missed it. Rebound tipped and controlled by Princeton. Stephen Wilkerson. Now to Ballard.
Hatchet staying in the man-to-man. Gonna have to put some pressure on the ball here because we're gonna have to turn it over.
There you go. Trey Reed creates the turnover as it's off the fingertips of Zach Dove and back to the Hatchets.
So here's the thing, Dwayne. We got a turnover, which we're going to have to continue to do, but we have to turn every one of these turnovers into points on the other end if we were going to cut down this 33-20 lead that Princeton has.
Princeton with the lead. Hatchets with the ball. I'd like to see a run by Washington. Tyson Wright. Nice move. Couldn't get it. Rebound on the weak side. Trey Reed. He's denied by Matt Dove. Quickly up the floor. Hunter pushing it now. Swatted out. Last touch by the Hatchets. Tonight's game coverage presented by Ace's Restaurant in the Washington Country Club, inviting you out after the game for live music from Damian Baker. No cover charge. Ace's Restaurant inside the Washington Country Club just up the road on Bedford Road. Tonight's game also brought to you by McAllister Machinery, your Caterpillar dealer. 6 minutes left, third quarter. Princeton with the ball and a 13-point lead here in the sectional championship at Washington. Zach Dove out to Wilkerson, all alone for the 3, and he got it. See that? That's where they're dangerous, John. The big men draw the pressure underneath, and then they kick it out. And Princeton is a good three-point shooting team. They've missed 1 all night so far.
1 all night. I mean, they're 6 for 7. That's going to be hard to combat as they've opened this lead up to 16 now as Bryce Browning draws the foul.
Into Wright. Tyson out to Trey Reed. Now top of the key to Bryce Browning. Bryce takes it to the hoop. Doesn't get it. And Zach Dove comes up with a board. So the Hatchets got the basket capped at the moment. Still scoreless in this third quarter. We've played 3 minutes. Princeton 36. Washington 20.
Tyson Wright with great
That's
defense.
Almost 5 seconds.
That was about 10 seconds.
Here's Wilkerson, and Wilkerson is fouled.
So Grant was playing good defense there, trying to stop him at the baseline, and that's one of those things where you think that it seems like at that end they play it. This end, when this official rotates, has been a foul. So not exactly in the Hatchets' favor, but just a tough call.
Ballard at the center circle, getting lots of pressure by Tyson Wright. Lost the handle, and there's the steal by Trey Reed. Trey now blocked once again by Dove, but the loose ball into the hands of Grant Niehaus. That's a foul.
I didn't think they were going to call that, Dwayne.
Oh, man, I know. It was a late whistle. But, yeah, there was contact there. Niehaus is going to shoot 2.
We've said this before, and it bears repeating. Grant has got to take the ball to the basket against these guys. He's got to get him in foul trouble. He's got to get him on the bench, and we have got to score on these possessions.
That's 2 on Matt Dove. And the free throw for Grant's good. Niehaus with 12 points. That's the first point, though, for the Hatchets in this third quarter.
And you can't give them almost 4 minutes without a point either at this point. So
36-21. Second free toss is up, and it'll go through. Count them both.
Nice job by Niehaus to connect on both of those.
36-22. Full court pressure now by Washington. Muckerhide picks it up, gets it to Zach Dove. Zach across the timeline with the handoff to Ballard. Now to Muckerhide. Off to Ballard. He'll set for the 3 and get it. Jurian Ballard for his second three-pointer. 7 points overall. Tyson Wright had the pocket picked. And the loose ball into the hands of the Tigers. And then the Hatchets get it back. And
Somewhere
then the
there's gotta be a
Tigers get
foul.
it back.
They got to call a foul.
It's getting a little physical here.
Well, I mean, I've seen less action in a high school football game.
39-22. Foul whistled on Tyson Wright, and that's going to be his third. That's going to be his third personal foul. It's going to bring Kyle Mann off the bench. We don't want Tyson to get number 4. Be careful, Tyson. Here's Wilkerson. Wilkerson. No.
There's another missed over the
Hunter
back call.
Killian with the rebound. Trey Reed in the far corner, out to Niehaus, top of the key to Browning. Lob into Hunter Killian. Back out to Tyson Wright, he'll shoot the 3. Nope, rebound though, Trey Reed. Trey fouled and he's gonna shoot 2, and that's number 3 on Matt Dove.
I'll tell you what, it's gonna be an interesting story here as Matt Dove picks up his third, and you can't say enough about the effort of Trey Reed and how he's got on the glass, because now Matt Dove's gonna come out. But Trey Reed has done a great job of getting on the boards and going to the foul line.
Trey Reed has spent the night guarding Zach Dove as well, which is the big defensive, the big move on defense for Washington. As we see Matt Dove sit down with 3 fouls. Devontae Hardiman is checking in for Princeton. Kyle Mann got in the lineup now for the Hatchets. Both free throws are good for Trey Reed. And now here's the full court pressure once again by the Hatchets.
Washington's got to get a turnover now. We got to take it straight at the to the basket now that Matt Dove's on the bench. Get a little push off there by Muckerhide.
Muckerhide going up against Kyle Mann. Tyson Wright did stay in the lineup, so he's playing with the 3 fouls. And Coach Haywood wants a timeout. 3:15 left, third quarter. Princeton 39, Washington 24. We'll be back to the Hatchet House in 30 seconds on WAMW.
Clear. Stand by. And go.
3:15 left in this third quarter of play. Princeton 39, Washington 24. Game coverage brought to you by Gill Funeral Home, serving our community since 1872. By Taylor's 2 Steakhouse in Oakland City, voted best of the best steak in Gibson County. Give them a try. Taylor's 2 Steakhouse. And Pepsi Beverages Company, the official soft drink of the Washington Hatchets. 3 minutes left now. Hardiman in the lineup. Devontae Hardiman for Princeton. Tigers kicking it around, running some clock. They look into Zach Dove. Dove draws the double team. Now it goes into Devontae Hardiman, and Hardiman missed. Zach Dove there to clean it up and put it in for 2 more. That's a killer right there.
Yeah, it's just a spot where Zach Dove had position and was just able to get the rebound and put it back in.
Kyle Mann to Grant Niehaus, cutting to the basket. Grant's fouled. He'll shoot 2 more.
So let's see who they give this to. If they give it to Zach Dove,
they did.
And they do, so that's 3.
That's number 3 on Zach Dove. All right. Now it's time for the Hatchets to capitalize. Coach Haywood going to the bench.
And right now is a great time because obviously the clock is not in our favor. So Niehaus, as he attempts the first free throw, which he's good, we have to score. Obviously, we have to take advantage of all of our free throws now because the clock is not moving. And we're going to have to get turnovers, and we're going to have to convert. And now that they have a smaller lineup, we've really got to impose our will here to get back in this ball game.
Both free throws good. Niehaus perfect from the line. 41-26. Full court press now by the Hatchets.
Folks, it's far from over, so don't go anywhere.
Muckerhide gets it across.
Traveled.
And he traveled.
That's just, now, I said this before, but again, we got a turnover. We got to turn this into points right now, Dwayne.
Yep.
We have to.
Well, and you see both the Dove boys sitting on the bench. Coach Haywood saying, we can't have you guys on our bench. You cannot foul.
No, but now is the time for us to strike and for Grant Niehaus to take it to the basket.
Absolutely. Julius Hardiman checking in the lineup now for Washington. As Tyson Wright dribbles, hands it to Julius. Julius out to Grant for three. Short, rebound, loose, and into the hands of the Tigers. Needed that one. Stephen Wilkerson walks it up. And now Coach Haywood is telling his team to run the clock.
Yeah, the clock is obviously in their favor, and ahead with a minute 45 to go in the third, up 41-26. They can take all the time they want.
Minute and a half. Kyle Mann giving Muckerhide all the pressure he can handle, and there's a nice step in by Wright, but he swatted it out.
And you got to love the hustle, though, because, look, Tyson Wright knows they don't win this game, it's over.
Yep.
And he's giving it, all the seniors, giving it everything they got because they don't want this to be their last game.
They do not. Minute and a half left now. Tigers maintain possession. Tonight's game brought to you by Goodwin Seavers Funeral Home, now serving Davies County and State Street in Washington. Crane Federal Credit Union, banking on a Hatchet victory. And the Edley Mortuary, caring for you when you need the care the most. Well, credit Princeton. They are running the clock and doing a nice job with it. This is not stall ball by any means. This is their game plan, and this is what they know they have to do, especially with the Dove brothers sitting on the bench. And you got to give credit to these subs off the bench for Princeton doing a tremendous job here.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Princeton is a great basketball team. Tyson Wright
was just
Coach Haywood saw it coming. You got to give Coach Haywood credit. He called the timeout because he saw as Muckerhide was going to spin back, Tyson Wright was going to pick his pocket. So,
timeout.
Great job by Coach Haywood right there.
30-second timeout. We'll be back with more at the Hatchet House right after this on WAMW.
Clear. Stand by. And go.
Princeton has the ball as play resumes. We're just under a minute left in this third quarter play. It's the Tigers 41, the Hatchets 26. Wilkerson gets the inbound pass for Princeton. Picks up the dribble, hands it to Devontae Hardiman. It's Hardiman versus Hardiman here. Devontae guarded by Julius. Wilkerson with a jump stop and the scoop shot, and good for two. That's a big bucket by Stephen Wilkerson. Foul called on Ballard on the inbound play.
That was a good move by Wilkerson. A very athletic move. Jump shot, went up in the air, scooped it up off the glass and got it. So give credit where credit is due right now. Washington, 35 seconds to go, down 43-26. Got to get some points here before the end of the third.
Tyson Wright holds it at the center circle. Game coverage brought to you by Tim Dant, Social Security Disability Attorney from the Law Office of Hayes and Dant in Washington. Sterling and Company Professional Corporation, Main Street, downtown Washington. We're getting down to the last 10 seconds. Kyle Mann out to Hardiman. Julius shot too strong. Rebound to Ballard with 2 seconds left to launch one at half court. No good. That's going to do it for the third quarter of play. Washington held to 6 points, no field goals, all 6 points at the free throw line in that third quarter. We played 3 here at the Hatchet House. On the A&R Home Center scoreboard, it's the Princeton Tigers 43, the Washington Hatchets 26. Fourth quarter action in 1 minute on WAMW.
Clear. 10. Stand by. And go.
8 minutes left in this sectional championship with Washington and Princeton. The Tigers in control right now, leading the Hatchets 43-26. Hatchets start with the ball. The Dove brothers both back into the lineup for Princeton. You knew they wouldn't be out long. They're playing with 3 fouls. Grant Niehaus, quick shot, no good. Rebound, Hunter Killian, put back, is good.
Nice job by the big man.
Hunter Killian gets the first field goal of the second half for Washington. And now the full court press again by the Hatchets. Mucker Hyde brings it up. There's out to Ballard. He'll shoot the 3. No good on the
How
rebound.
is that not a foul?
Ooh, that's going to go to Washington. Last touch by the Tigers.
So 2 things. Wilkerson had Grant Niehaus by the collar and pulled him down. But the other thing that we got to make note of, Dwayne, is the fact that the pressure really bothered Princeton. But we haven't made shots in the third quarter to get into our full court pressure, so that's allowed them to run their offense. And that's a huge part of why this game has the lead has stretched out in the second half.
Tyson Wright, top of the key to Niehaus. Trey Reed, no good. Rebound controlled by Wilkerson. Here comes the Tigers. Wilkerson, got it. Boy, he's really stepped it up.
Yes, he has.
He's got 10 points. Tyson Wright quickly up the floor. Out to Niehaus. Grant, jumper, good. Grant Niehaus, baseline jumper, counts for 2, 45-30. 15-point Princeton lead. Now, full court pressure, and boy, the Tigers really having trouble here. Miscommunication. Mucker Hyde breaks it. Gets it out to Ballard. Ballard connects. Jurian Ballard for 2. 47-30. Niehaus. Oh, no good on that one. Off the glass, just couldn't get the finish.
Nice take. Did a good job of getting to the rim, just couldn't finish it.
6 minutes to play. Tigers want again to slow this one up. And there's a foul against Bryce Browning. Linton leading South Knox 23-16 at the half at North Davies.
Nice tip by Browning, knock it out of bounds. It's going to stay with Princeton.
I want to thank our sponsors tonight, Davies County Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau, Jumpin' Jacks Family Fun Center. Great family fun for the kids and the adults. Jumpin' Jacks now has laser tag. Check them out at Jumpin' Jacks Family Fun Center in Washington. The End Zone, screen printing and embroidery. They can do it all at the End Zone. And the City of Washington and Mayor Joe Wellman. As the Tigers look to lob it underneath, another foul whistled against the Hatchets. 2 on Bryce Browning now. 5 team fouls against Washington. Out of bounds for Princeton in front of their bench. Washington trying to stick with that tough man-to-man pressure.
Princeton's done a good job of not turning the ball. I mean, they've turned it over 9 times, but 6 of those were in the first half. So the second half, they've really taken care of the basketball a lot better.
Oh.
As Browning's going to pick up.
Called for number 3 now. Tonight's game brought to you by Mattress by Appointment. Call 610-1070 for a good night's sleep. Also by Area 1 Protection Services, security systems for your home and business, and JT Express in Washington, proud to support the Hatchets. Wilkerson with the drive, no good, but there's Matt Dove with the tip, and it is good. It's all Princeton now, everything going their way as they lead 49-30. Approaching 5 minutes, Bryce Browning with the high arching 3, too strong, and Mucker Hyde there for the rebound. Mucker Hyde, the kick out to Zach Dove. He wanted the 3, but decided not to, realizing the situation. That's a good senior move there by Zach Dove. Well, any coach would love to have these Dove brothers
Well,
on their team. They are just the real deal.
Well, absolutely. And, we didn't get to see Matt Dove a whole lot in the first game because he spent most of the game on the bench with foul trouble. But I tell you what, he's done a great job of cleaning up the glass here tonight, and it has really been a huge difference in why the outcomes look to be different from the regular season.
Bryce Browning picks up number 4 now. I think all 4 of those fouls have come in this quarter.
Yep.
4:37 left to go. 7th team foul against the Hatchets. Kyle Mann checking in now for Bryce Browning. 1 and bonus for Muckerhide coming up. Brantley Muckerhide, a senior, has not scored a point, believe it or not, but man, he has done a tremendous job of handling the basketball. He's been the point man for this entire second half and breaking that Hatchet pressure.
He has done a very good job and makes good on the first free throw. That's the thing, when you can get guys to come in off the bench and play like that, that just really makes your team that much tougher.
Once again, a shout out to CI Tom Thomas listening in. First sectional he missed in 55 years. Wish we had better news to report tonight, but the Tigers with a 50-30 lead, and they got the offensive rebound and the ball back. Princeton spreading the floor, running the clock. Looking to move on to the Southridge Regional coming up next Saturday.
Well, and deservedly so. I mean, look.
Timeout for Coach Haywood. And the Tigers, we need to take one, too. 4:06 left to go, 50-30 in favor of Princeton. We'll be back to the Hatchet House in 1 minute on WAMW.
Clear. Ten. Stand by. And go.
4:06 to go, 50-30 in favor of Princeton. And the Tigers have the ball. Out of bounds in front of the bench. Muckerhide gets it into Matt Dove. Grant Niehaus swats it out of bounds. I love cheer blocks. This is Hoosier. This is what it's all about.
I mean, obviously, it's not the outcome we wanted, but the Princeton fans or cheer blockers chanting "Let's play football," and then the Hatchets are chanting "Let's play soccer." And look, I mean, it's unfortunate the outcome tonight, but you know what? It's still fun, and wouldn't want to be anywhere else tonight than right here at the Hatchet House.
Muckerhide picked from behind by Tyson Wright. Good heads-up defensive play by Tyson, and he'll get 2. Full court pressure by Washington.
Travel.
Oh, he did. Yes, he did. Good call. 1 extra step. Coach Haywood saying, calm down, boys.
He just got a little ahead of himself there, but
3:33 left to go. Tyson Wright quickly up. Washington losing some time that they don't have. Grant Niehaus falls to the floor, takes a timeout. 30-second timeout. 3:15 left to go. We'll be back to the Hatchet House in 30 seconds on WAMW.
Clear. Stand by. And go.
Back here at the Hatchet House with 3:15 left to play. It's Princeton 50, Washington 32 in the 3A Sectional Championship. Post-game report coming up. We'll have the MVP award presented by Annalu Chapman, the RE/MAX Real Estate Broker, and Heller's Lawn Pro and Heller's Unlimited. Out of bounds for the Hatchets. It goes quickly into Tyson Wright. Tyson over to Julius Hardiman. Julius pass it to Kyle Mann. Kyle takes the three, top of the key, short. Matt Dove there for the rebound. Muckerhide guarded by Mann. Zach Dove, kick out to Ballard. Ballard is fouled. He hits the floor hard.
Looks like he took a knee south of the border there, Dwayne.
2:42 left to go. Free throws coming for Ballard. He'll shoot the one and bonus. That's the 8th team foul against the Hatchets. So again, the winner of this one going to Southridge in the semifinals. They'll play the winner of the Greensburg sectional. More than likely going to face Greensburg, which is, wow. They've lost one game all year.
The upper echelon of 3A basketball in the state.
That's right. Ballard missed the front end of the one and bonus. Hatchets get the rebound. Tyson Wright to Grant Niehaus. Grant over to Trey Reed. Trey got it. Reed with 8 points, 50-34. Full court pressure again by the Hatchets. Princeton breaks it. Ballard throws it right to Tyson Wright. Attaboy, Tyson.
Tyson's going to give it all he's got till the very end.
Oh, he's picked from behind, no call, but the Hatchets come up with it on the loose ball. Now it goes out to Kyle Mann, top of the key, Trey Reed. 2 minutes left. Hatchet fans saying, shoot the ball. Trey missed. Rebound to Zach Dove. Yeah, he heard the Hatchet faithful over there.
The gas.
We just don't have the time to pass it around too often. Down by 16 in under 2 minutes. Ballard is fouled by Tyson Wright. That's going to be his 4th. And Ballard is shooting one and bonus again. 9th team foul against the Hatchets. Ballard missed the free throw. And the ball is out of bounds to Princeton. Boy, oh boy.
That just kind of sums up our night right there.
Isn't that the truth? Man, oh man.
Free throw was missed. We didn't block out. Dove comes up with it. He loses it, and then it goes off of Trey Reed's hands out of bounds. It's just been one of those nights for the Hatchets.
Matt Dove. Fouled by Kyle Mann. Matt Dove is going to shoot 2 free throws. Minute 44 left. Matt Dove hits the first free throw. You know, I say that about Greensburg, but let's face it. Princeton, if they're playing on all levels, they can give Greensburg all they can handle.
Yeah, there's not going to be any easy games in that regional.
You got that right.
It's going to be a battle.
I'm going to say what you said earlier. It's going to be one of the toughest regionals in the state.
Without a doubt.
Minute 35 left to play.
I wouldn't be surprised if the state champion comes out of that regional.
There's a 3 by Tyson Wright. No good. On the rebound, Zach Dove comes up with it. 52-34 now. That's Muckerhide. And Stephen Wilkerson stepped out of bounds, so that's a Princeton turnover. And now Coach Miller's going to his bench. Austin Gear coming in. Zach Gray, Kiowa Jones, Lance Roach, and Alex Boyd.
You know, a great show of respect right there. They all go over, like to Tyson Wright. You know, they all know that he's the guy that leads this team. And, you know, he knows it's it. And it's emotional time. But you know what? Everybody on this team loves and respects Tyson Wright as well they should.
And the Princeton Tigers clear their bench as well. Princeton looking to claim their first sectional championship since 2009.
And you know, that goes for the other seniors too, for Hunter Killian and Bryce Browning. Without those guys this year, this team doesn't have anywhere near the success that they had. And those three guys are going to be sorely missed in this program.
You got it. And you remember that Princeton Tiger 2009 sectional championship. They went on to win the state that year.
Yes,
that's the
they
only
did.
banner missing from our Hatchet House there. As Alex Boyd tries for three, can't get it. Out of bounds to the Tigers. Final minute on the clock. Well, what a run it's been. Yep, John, you mentioned those seniors. Hunter Killian, Bryce Browning, and Tyson Wright. Can't say enough about those three. And this Hatchet team has a lot of upcoming talent. You know, a JV squad that finished 19-3.
Yeah, I don't know if that is the best JV record, but it's got to be one of the best, at least in modern history for the Hatchets.
30 seconds. There's a three, and it's good. That falls for Kerry Hunter, his second three-pointer tonight. Alex Boyd over to Kiowa Jones. He'll shoot the three. Too strong. Rebound controlled by Princeton. Kerry Hunter thought about it. Now they'll pull it out, and it's over. Well, the Princeton Tigers will claim the 3A sectional championship at the Hatchet House as Princeton wins it. Final score on the A&R Home Center scoreboard. The Tigers 55, Washington Hatchets 34. Post-game report coming up after this 2-minute timeout on WAMW.
Two minutes. We still got a bunch of ads to clear. Ten. Stand by. And go.
Well, the Hatchets received the game ball as the runner-up in the 3A sectional here at the Hatchet House, and the Princeton Tigers and their captains were presented the sectional championship trophy. Congratulations to the Princeton Tigers and Coach Brian Haywood. just a good ball club, John Gear. That's what you can say about that.
Right. I mean, look, let's take nothing away from Princeton. They are an outstanding basketball team. Just, it wasn't our night tonight, and you got to give all the credit in the world to Princeton because they played hard, they played smart, and they deserve to win. And, you know, obviously we wanted it to be us, but they are going to be a great representative of this sectional moving forward into next weekend's regional.
That's right, and we wish them the best. And in the meantime, for this Washington Hatchet squad, nothing to hang your heads about. What a run this year, finishing at 16-9, runners up in the 3A sectional tournament. We've had some impressive wins, including one of those being against this Princeton Tigers squad in the regular season, one of only 5 losses they've had so far this year.
Well, and then you look at also, we beat Heritage Hills, who only had 1 loss during the season, which was to us until they got beat the other night by Bosse. And, you know, having a share of the Big 8 title and all the things that they've done this year that I don't really think was expected going into this season. And Coach Miller really got these kids to play ball together and to do a good job. And, they were successful, and obviously they fell a little short tonight, and they're going to be upset about it. But overall, after they get past tonight, they have nothing at all to hang their heads about. They had a great season.
That's right. Well, we'll be back with the final stats and a visit with Coach Miller coming up after this timeout. 2-minute timeout on WAMW.
All right, you're clear. We still have 7.5 minutes of in-game to clear. This will put us down to 5.5. Ten.
Hunter.
Stand by. And go.
Welcome back to the Hatchet House, where the Princeton Tigers claimed the 3A sectional championship, eliminating the Washington Hatchets. Final score 55-34. Individual scoring for Washington. Grant Niehaus leads the way with 17 points tonight. Then it was 8 points for Trey Reed, 7 points for Tyson Wright, and 2 points for Hunter Killian. 17 for Grant Niehaus, the only one in double figures. 8 for Trey Reed, 7 for Tyson Wright, 2 for Hunter Killian. For Princeton, Matt Dove, 15, Zach Dove, 14, Stephen Wilkerson, 10. Those 3 were just a thorn tonight, especially the Dove brothers. Matt Dove, 15, Zach Dove, 14, Stephen Wilkerson, 10. 9 points for Jurian Fallard. He had a good night tonight as well. 6 for Kerry Hunter, and 1 free throw for Brantley Muckerhide. But Muckerhide did a lot of other things, including handle the basketball for the Tigers. Washington and Princeton tied at 11 at the end of the first quarter. Tigers took the lead into the half, 31-20. Then it was all Princeton after that, 43-26 after 3, and your final 55-34. We'll be back to visit with Coach Gene Miller and have more of the post-game report after this 2-minute timeout on WAMW.
All right, you're clear. That leaves 3.5 in game. Ten. Stand by. And go.
We're back here at the Hatchet House as Coach Gene Miller joins us now in the post-game report. Coach, I know not the outcome you hoped for. Give the Princeton Tigers credit. This team is a force. There's no doubt about it. And they'll represent our 3A sectional real well next week at that Southridge Regional.
They're a very good basketball team, and they're playing really well right now. You know, they had a little down spurt there where they had some illnesses and injuries, and they're back healthy now, and they're playing really well. They understand their roles real well. Ryan's done a great job with coaching them, and how you say that? I mean, they're big three. The two Dove brothers and Wilkerson are really good. And then, you know, when the hard Ballard, and when he's stepping out and hitting shots, and Carrier hitting shots, then they're just that much better. That's a very good basketball team, and they're going to be a tough out in this 3A tournament. That's for sure.
Coach, your ball club, I know the seniors playing their last game this year, and we'll just give you the floor to talk about those three seniors and what they meant for Hatchet basketball.
Well, it's always tough when you finish the season, like I told the kids, no matter where you get beat at, you know, whether it's the first game of the tournament or the state championship game of the tournament, it's always tough because this is the last time these guys will be together as a group. You know, there'll be some of them back next year and others, but this will be the last time where they're all back together as a group. And you know, that's tough, you know, when people are gone and you got to replace them, and it's just a tough situation. But you know, Tyson has been a 3-year starter for us, and he's just been a pleasure to coach. I had told you, you know, senior night, he's a kid that comes every day to practice to get better, to work hard, smile on his face, and he tries to do everything you ask him to do. It's just a pleasure to coach. One of those guys that is just, you know, you look forward to coming to practice just to see him practice, because he just loves to play the game. I think it doesn't matter whether it's in practice or a game. Bryce has been with us in our basketball program, you know, since way back when, elementary school, and I think he really improved this year through the season. He got better, you know, from last year to this year. He was much better defensive player this year and was a much better offensive player. He had a really good year for us. He shot the ball well from the three-point line and from the free throw line, and took the ball to the basket a lot more this year. And I thought they had a good year. And I told the kids they had a good year. You know, we won 16 ball games, won the conference championship, got beat in the sectional final. So it was a good year, and Bryce played a big part of it. Hunter was a good addition, moving back into town last year, and got better this year as it went along. Offensively, played well for us throughout the season, and defensively got better as we went through the season. And all three of those guys are fine young men, and I wish them the best with whatever they do from here on out.
44 years you've been doing this now, Coach. I tell you what, you get to this point, and the hype and the hoopla, you just got to love what you do, and Hoosier hysteria didn't get much better than the atmosphere we experienced here tonight.
Well, it was a great atmosphere, and I just wish we could have played a little better. We just couldn't shoot the ball as well as we would like. Didn't do things that we would like to have done in this game, but the atmosphere was good. Our fans were good, and that just like I tell people, it's my favorite time of year. And next year the regional, I'll be there someplace watching, and this could be a good 3A regional next week. Princeton's a good team. Memorial will probably be there. Greensburg and Silver Creek. It should be a pretty well balanced regional, and it should be a fun regional to watch.
Well, Coach, again, thanks for a great season, and congratulations to the players. I know not the outcome we hoped for, but it's been fun sitting up here broadcasting the games night in, night out. We always appreciate doing it. And, your coaching staff all the way down the line, class act, and it's great to do what we do. We enjoy it.
Well, thank you very much, Dwayne. I appreciate all you guys do for us, and putting all the games on the radio and getting it out to our fans that are unable to go. And it's been a pleasure working with all you guys.
We look forward to next season, Coach.
All right, thank you very much, Dwayne.
We'll be back with more from the Hatchet House right after this on WAMW.
Okay, you're clear. Give me 3.5 to clear the in games.
Okay.